people of the internet. It has not been that long of a while for once. Aren't you proud of me? I've decided that I'm going to share my poetry because writing means a lot to me and I'm a performer, so here it goes. This one I wrote when I was 17 in my senior year of high school, and yet I feel as if it's just as relevant, if not more, than it was back then. It's called The Transient Nature of Perfection and Reality. My friend, who isn't even a legal adult yet, told me one day, as a matter of fact, that nothing in this world is real. It took me all of 3 seconds to realize that she was right. That we live in a society built on false claims and unexplainable boundaries, because that's just the way the world works, even though no one can explain why. We use worthless currency to buy our own self-worth, and we agree to live by their rules and their values for no other reason than that they told us to. And so we submit, no questions asked, not even knowing who they refers to. And we don't see that even day and night is simply an illusion, that it's just a shadow rotating across the earth, covering up bits and pieces at a time. No, we were never taught to see the big picture. But I wonder, why don't our teachers ever teach us that? Why don't our textbooks teach us to see, to read between the lines of what truths are yours and which beliefs are actually mine? And I wonder if maybe it's because they're scared of what could happen if we suddenly become self-aware. Saw the weapons that we are surrounded with, the weapons that already exist inside our heads, on the tip of our tongues, because maybe they know that we may yet come to realize the power we all hold. That we are clairvoyant, prophetic, we can shape the future, predict an outcome, and make it happen. We are telekinetics, fire starters, able to control minds and suggest thoughts, start a riot, start a change, but we don't. We don't do any of that. No, instead we turn war on ourselves, battlegrounds on our skins, against the mirror, petty fights with our peers that no one really means but can't stop doing anyways. This is the society that we've come to live in. And I wonder, whose bright idea was it long ago to choose one place on this vast, beautiful planet and settle down there? Who decided that it was better to stay in one place forever, ignoring the innumerable opportunities that stretched out in every possible direction? Why did they think it was better to build these buildings, to hide away from the blues and grays of the sky, to learn one thing correctly and do it again and again and again, to strive for perfection and do it again and again and again, and then to do the same thing to our children, to take the stars out of their eyes and throw them into the sky, contorting the constellations of could-have-beens had you left well enough alone. But no, you needed control. That's what this is about. This is about control. Oh no, they say, this is about love. We do this because we love you. Well, I call BS on that facade. If this is love, this isn't love as in caring. This is love as in ownership. You feel the need to own me, turn me into a space monkey doing my one little task for you day in and day out to perfection. Oh, please, deliver me from perfection. You may have noticed I'm a bit angry. You may attribute it to my age, to being a teenager, an outsider, a high schooler, a ghost child, a lower middle class kid in an upper middle class town, a kid no one wants to hear, passionate, stubborn, and much too loud, first gen in a predominantly white area, learning 2 cultures instead of 1, 3 languages instead of 1, an angry kid stuck in the same place for much too long, as if the problem with my anger resides within me than the need to find relief. No one wants to hear that. They don't want to hear about how we enter the orphanage one by one, led up like so many sheep following the shepherd. Metal grates on the door, steel spars on the window, prisoners of our own insecurities and hypocritical need to be in control. We give up so much for the smallest promises of safety. You can scoff all you want, but it's an epidemic, plaguing this nation of fools. We know more about the shiny new apples falling from the tree than the economic disasters knocking at our door and inviting us for a pleasant walk. Naturally, we let them lead on, never mind the hooded man trailing along. This infection is spreading along broadcast and Wi-Fi signals, weakening us with its pretty colors and gossip, and we pretend the danger comes from outside, or from inside our own minds, quelling it in a futile attempt at control, while we rot as a whole from the inside out. Never mind hypocritical policies and disillusioned morals. No, we're popping pills to save us from the dark, scary world encroaching our suburban roads, stuffing children up with empty self-esteem and jumped-up superiority, but left with no safety net for the inevitable fall. Oh, flee in vain to cookie-cutter houses on silent streets, with schools that don't tell as much as they say or seem to. placing your young in a bubble, drawing firm boundaries, trying to keep them protected, yet complaining when they say they know nothing of reality. How are you expecting them to? When you've taught them this life is just practice, meaning no consequences for actions until you step out into that strange land called real. Nothing here is real. Told your children, shut your mouth, close your eyes, don't look too close and pretend in your mind everything's fine, but it's not. See, that self-delusion isn't fooling anyone anymore. It's not how it works anymore. That much we figured out, figured you and insecurities out. And okay, maybe our parents actually had good intentions in mind when they locked the doors to our houses and minds and tried to lose the key in a desperate attempt to keep that darkness out and us safe and sound inside. It just didn't work. And perhaps I'm a touch too disparaging of the decadence causing such destruction, but it's no bluff when I say I've got more than enough evidence to display before a jury whose verdict matters very little to me anyways. See, I've seen half my classmates drunk on false bliss, high on false realities. They've seen hints of the real world past the doorstep and decided they don't quite like it too much. So I've had too many friends fall prey, the rest throwing up fences and shields of cynicism and sardonic retorts, lined with barbed wire, to hold both hope and false promises at bay. In their minds, both are the same. I've seen them get sucked up in the nuances of the falseness known as society. Believe me, this ain't the 1920s anymore. We can see the value of ashes better than the value in decorative layers of fool's gold we can't afford anyways. We can call it out for what it is, useless. But we can't call ourselves out for what we are, stuck in a false reality as firmly as if we were in an alternate universe of some high school girl's fantasy, half blind to the fact that we're trapped and completely unwilling to try to find a way out. Of APs, IBs, GPAs, SATs, ACTs, strings of letters with no real meaning. Listen carefully to A minus, B, A, B, my report card. And it still hurts to see because it's too far from perfect, which means I'm too far from perfect, which means I'm not good enough yet. Oh, please deliver me from this folly of perfection, this ephemeral illusion constructed to instruct us in what we should want and what we need to survive. And at times it's hard to believe the way out is so easy, that I could just let it all drop, seize all my weapons and cut all the strings at once, resign from my position of marionette, puppet playing perfect citizen, perfect student, perfect daughter, perfect false reality of perfection, deliver me from perfect. Do you have any idea how easy that part would be? To let it all go and leave, to discover the world, searching for meaning on foreign shores, till you realize you're just walking door to door, asking for a purpose, begging these strangers, please spare you some purpose. Maybe that's why I'm so angry. Maybe that's why so many of us are so angry. Because there's no purpose we can find in derivatives and integrals and histories and velocities, can calculate the speed at which we want to leave, but not the direction. So we keep ourselves empty and seek out this perfection they promised would complete us. But we're just another lost generation with our wars playing on television screens, and we can't understand the world when it doesn't match up to the reality on TV that we've invested ourselves in. Identified our hopes and dreams with the storylines and character arcs. Where are the plot holes, though? So left adrift, hooking into digital devices to stay sane, downloading emotions as if that world isn't as false as the one on every other screen. In which one are we even residing? We're injecting caffeine, hyped up adrenaline junkies, using sugar and chemicals directly into our bloodstreams red as wine. Because it's better to live a surreal, hyper-real lie than deal with the crushing weight of life demanding its way in. Trying to convince us that it's real. Trying to convince me to exhale, shut down my weapons, to calm down, quell my rightful rage, to shut my eyes and pretend everything is fine. Just go with it. Everything is fine. Yeah, right. So I hope you liked that. I have more coming, hopefully. And yeah, that's all from your favorite resident of the abandoned orphanage for ghosts. I hope you have a good day.